Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, please consider subscribing and smash that like button.
In the last years of communism, on the land of the current Vacaresti Natural Park was a peripheral area of Bucharest, a swampy land with unpaved streets, where many families lived, with large gardens. Ceausescu ordered the demolition of the entire neighborhood, including the famous Vacaresti Monastery, in order to replace it with other modern buildings to house state institutions, but also an extensive hydrological work, Vacaresti Lake.
Lake Vacaresti was to be part of Bucharest's hydrological flood protection system. The work started in 1986, on which occasion the Vacaresti Monastery was demolished, but they were stopped after 1989, so that, at present, it remains one of the great unfinished projects of the communist period. In the over 20 years it was neglected, the Vacaresti Lake area was reclaimed by nature. The place, now known as the Vacaresti Delta, is fed by underground springs, which have allowed the growth of a diverse vegetation and some living things, which survive in a stable ecosystem.
Now let's get straight into today's subject. Elite runners take their time warming up. They'll spend 20 to 40 minutes jogging 2 to 3 miles, doing strides and drills, and stretching. This prepares their bodies by getting blood flowing and raising their muscles' temperature to the optimal level for flexibility, efficiency, and power. If I'm going to tempo 18 miles, I want to make every mile count, says Hall. Practicing a long warm-up also helps them develop a regimen that's effective before competition. It takes the guessing out of it, so on race day you're in the comfort of the routine you set, says Dina Caster, American record holder in the marathon. Do-it-yourself runners on the tight schedule may be tempted to skimp on, or skip, the warm-up. But attempting a fast pace on cold muscles puts you at risk of injury, especially if you've just gotten out of bed. Before any speed session or tempo run, jog for a minimum of 10 minutes, says Dean Evans, a coach based in Redwood City, California, who works with elites and recreational runners. Then pick up the pace for 2 to 3 minutes to prepare your body for the upcoming speed.
Be process-oriented, not outcome-oriented. Get a little better with each training session, a stronger squat, a harder effort on intervals. Don't obsess about race day.
Rest as much as you need. Take recovery seriously. It's an essential part of training, says Rachel Schneider, professional middle-distance runner and 9-time All-American in track. The training process has best been described to me as, stress plus rest equals success, adds 100-mile ultra champion and Salt Lake City-based running coach Zach Marion. We stress the body for days in a row in order to force it to make a physiological response, but working it out is only half the process. Getting adequate, 7 to 8 hours nightly, sleep, and adding rest days into a training program allows the body to properly recover. That's when muscles get stronger. Marion suggests taking at least 1 day off each week. Think of rest as training, you're allowing your body to ready itself for your next workouts and reducing your chance of injury, he says. Train only as fast as you can race. Races dictate your training pace, says professional runner and coach Jason Carr, PhD, author of Run Your Fat Off. Because races tell you your current fitness level, Carr says. For example, if a runner races a 19-minute 5K, she shouldn't train as if she runs at a 17-minute pace. Running faster in training doesn't necessarily make you faster overall. What does make you faster? Training within your fitness level and improving physiological characteristics, Carr says. In other words, focus on improving your form, increasing your mileage for better cardiovascular fitness and pushing yourself gradually to create adaptive changes without pushing past your limits to injury. There's a natural temptation when you finish a race to collapse on the ground and bask in your own private glory. This is a bad idea. Stretch and refuel immediately post-race. Talk to yourself. The thoughts you have in your head can and will directly affect your performance, says Kona Ironman regular Tom Holland, author of the Marathon Method. So use positive self-talk and mantras for all aspects of running. To calm yourself right before a race, say, I am ready, and during a race, when you need to control your pace in the early miles, think, nice and easy. When it's time to pick up the pace, repeat hammer for as long as it takes. Schneider adds, have fun. Always remind yourself why you're doing it. That sense of gratitude and shift in mindset can help keep you going. She stresses that the rough days, and there will be some, make the good days that much better. pay attention. Top runners monitor everything that is going on with their body, Holland says. Their breathing, foot strike, arm swing, etc., to ensure their performance is their best possible. That focus helps their performance. Beginner runners often choose to disassociate during runs, thinking about anything but running in order to get through to the end. One of the most common forms of distraction? Music, even though it's highly motivating. Top runners can't afford to disassociate, Holland says. When you're ready, ditch the music and start focusing on what your body is doing during your runs, to help improve your running times. Run as far as you can. If you want to become a better distance runner, the number of miles you run each week is the most important component of your training, Karp says. Of course, the farther you run, the harder you're working. But running lots of miles stimulates many physiological, biochemical and molecular adaptations, says Karp. One of the initial adaptations is an increase in your blood volume, which means more red blood cells transporting oxygen. For you, that means more energy, and more energy means more runs and more miles.
How do you know you're a dedicated runner? When your treadmill has more miles on it than your car.
One of the beauties of hills is that they really work on dynamic power, hip strength, and hip mobility because you need to be able to go and drive those hips really high to get up.